Hi guys, I'm Shayla Krachan. I have a question for you. What do you guys think is a sport?
Football.
Like what's your that's your definition of a sport?
A sport?
Okay, well.
Something that has running involved.
Okay,
A
so
skill.
clearly what most people think of a sport is just like soccer, baseball, like the typical sports that you see. But I'm here to explain to you why I think cheerleading should be a sport. Do you guys think cheerleading should be a sport?
Oh, it was.
Huh?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
But they
well,
declared it a sport.
well, many
They did.
people, like,
Sorry.
a lot of people like to say that it isn't a sport and there's no, like, athleticism, like, in cheer, but that's why I'm here to tell you that cheer should be a sport. Cheerleaders, like I said, they get fired up when you try to tell them that cheer is not a sport because they go through the pain and everything that, like, comes with being a cheerleader. Like, they're the ones that's going through pain if they get hurt or something, so that's why they tend to get riled up. And the American Association of Cheerleading and Coaches and Administrators say that cheerleading isn't a sport, but competitive cheerleading, they never said anything about that, and that's why I think competitive cheerleading should be a sport. I was a cheerleader when I was in 3rd grade, and I cheered up to like 6th grade, and then I stopped, and then I began cheering from 9th through 11th grade. So first I'm going to talk about the background of cheer and why I think and what a sport is, the athleticism of cheer, and the injuries. So first, let's talk about the background and what a sport is. A sport says it must be a physical activity involving a mass through space, and for cheer, that's what stunting is. Must be contesting or competing against an opponent, and that's what competition is. And must be governed by rules that define the time, space, and purpose of the contest where a winner is declared. And there's like a time limit, that score sheets, and then there's also a winner at the end. Background of it dates back into the 1880s, and the first like cheer squad was actually all male, and it was just like a spirit like group. They're trying to like help like their friends or whatever. And then in 1923, girls were actually able to begin cheering. Like I said, and then they started adding like tumbling and acrobatics into their dances. Next, so physical exertion, they have physical exertion just like any other sport. It's just in different ways. They don't tackle guys, but yet they still like, they use force and like just different other ways. And just because it seems to be girly and like not like women's basketball, but like, it's still a sport to me. So, like I said, they put just as much time into it, and when you think of an athlete, you think of someone who's buff and built and just, I guess, like a nice body, but as you can see here, they have nice bodies as well, and they do work out. But they don't lift, to my next point, they don't lift weights like other athletes lift. They just lift girls, which is I feel like it's harder because while lifting these girls, they have to make sure that they do everything correctly or else they can hurt themselves and the person. Okay. Okay, so to my next point, Tumbling is, it takes a lot of training, and it's where the girls and guys, they have to like run, and they have to get high enough off the floor to flip, spin, tuck, and land back on their feet. It might seem like it's not that hard, but you have to use like arm strength, leg strength to do these things. So yeah, they're required to flip, spin, land back on their feet, and smile, and keep a smile on their face even if something does go wrong. Next is stunting. Stunting is where they have to lift girls. As you can see right here, they're lifting girls, but say like this back spot gives up or like just doesn't do something right, this whole stunt goes down and this flyer will fall and get injured. So this leads to my next point, injuries. The Huntington Post on September 17, 2013 says that 66 of catastrophic sports-related injuries among women in the U.S. are due to cheerleading. So cheerleading is one of the most, for girls, sports that gets them injured the most. Nick Allen says these girls and boys are at risk for injury. This should be considered a sport, and these folks should be treated as athletes, not as entertainers. And I believe this is true because, like I said, if they get hurt, they don't most likely cheer. Like they have people that like help them, but I feel like they're just not respected as much. Like, oh, they got hurt like from cheering, but it's like these girls can get like paralyzed, head injuries. So Samantha Rosen said these girls are flipping 10 to 20 feet in the air. We need to stand up for what is right for our patients and demand they get the same protection as their football colleagues. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk to you about my story. When I was in high school was like a really big deal, and we weren't allowed to play any other sports if you were cheerleading because we competed like the whole year, so we could only put like our all into that sport. So, which is kind of like football players, they put their all in that sport. Basketball, they're all in that sport. We were doing a stunt, and my flyer, because I was the back spot, so we all dipped together, but my flyer wasn't doing what she was doing correctly. She spun and like elbowed and hit me in the head, and so I got a concussion from it. And I got a concussion. I was out for like 3 weeks. I couldn't practice anything, school was hard, so the injuries are serious. And so it just shows that cheerleading, if someone doesn't do what they have to do correctly, then people will get injured. So this is just me cheer. As you can see, well, you can't really see here, but this is me flying, and these girls are a lot shorter than me and smaller than me, but it shows that if you're strong enough or if you can do what you have to do, then you can you can lift someone even bigger than you or anything. So yeah, that's my